something.
Hello, something. How are you doing?
I'm Dad.
Shut the fuck up. Do you think you would be a good father?
No.
Why not?
Probably because I hate children.
But do you think you would have that biological epiphany moment where you look at your own
I'm
blood and
capable
skin?
of taking care of children. I don't know about being a good father, though. Because I'm very impatient when it comes to teaching people how to do things. If it's something I'm teaching someone how to do, then I'll usually be like, I don't want to spend the time to teach you. I'd rather just do it myself, but you can't be the child for it.
Right.
So
you'd be kind of like, well, I think you imagine yourself as being sort of like a Kratos type of dad.
a creativist?
Kratos type of dad.
Yeah, but Kratos is somehow more patient because he teaches him everything.
Would you just slap the shit out of boy?
I
after,
would never
try?
hit any child, no.
Oh, okay, that's good. See, as long as you honestly don't put hands
Does that
on your
shock
kid.
you that I wouldn't kill someone?
No, but I'm just saying, honestly,
The way you said that was just like, oh,
if you
that's interesting. I wouldn't have believed that from you, but
interesting. But no, if you don't put hands on your kids, you meet a baseline of decency, I would say.
yeah, yes, you do.
So
That's pretty much like
you wouldn't
number one
technically
on the
be
list.
a bad father, you know?
What?
You'd just be decent, just fine.
I think you'd be.
As long as you're not actively making your kid's life worse, I'd say you're doing pretty well. Because there's a lot of ways to fuck
Why
up.
do you think you would be a bad dad?
I don't know. I think this is something a lot of people ask themselves. In my head right now, I think I would be a bad dad.
Why is that?
Just because
You're
I
not
would get
mature
so
enough or something?
Yeah, well, not mature enough, and I feel like I would just get fucking annoyed after 5 hours of being.
I don't want
dad.
to take care of someone as well. I find that annoying. I mean, I will.
Yeah.
I've done it before.
See, that's
but
the thing, right? We don't want to, but we will if we have to, and that feels
there's this
shitty, right?
fucking subreddit called Child Free, which I think is kind of masturbatory, but I really like going on there.
Those guys are fucking crazy. Actually,
They are
They're really intense.
weirdly like it's a fantasy for them that they
Yeah.
don't have to fucking look at kids. When I say I hate kids, it's not that I want to kill children. It's that
Well, it's that too a little bit.
dislike having to deal with them in those situations. But they make it sound like children are a curse upon the land, and we should get rid of all of them.
There's some fucking crazy posts on that subreddit. Had family friends over today. They brought their little vermin over, vomited in the bathroom for 3 hours afterwards. Jesus Christ, take a fucking chill
I had to
pill or
wash
something.
myself of their stench.
Bleached my skin. Can never touch a child again.
I burned all of my clothing as well.
So I'm not.
thought that someone would procreate.
I'm not that intense. I think I would just become one of those parents that's slowly annoyed and degraded over the years to just become incredibly depressed, and I'll know deep down that I never lived the full life that I could have because I had a child.
I agree with most of the things they say. It's just if you're having a kid, you're inviting a world of frustration and debt.
100%. I mean, it's hard to say because everyone says, literally, it's kind of annoying when people say this too. Older relatives or just older people in general, they're like, oh, do you want kids? I'm like, no, not really. And they're like, I was the same way. You'll change your mind. And I'm like,
They do that, yeah. That's the same realm as getting married.
yeah. I'm just like, why do you automatically
Everybody
assume-
in the world lives their lives this way, and you're just like everybody else. Don't try to act like you're not.
I'm
Just follow back in the line of your usual human behavior, son. Don't try to act any different.
That kind of scares me though, because what if they're right? What if they
Right
had
about
this
what?
firm set of beliefs, right about that I will change my mind and then have kids eventually? What if they were in the exact same position as
They're
me?
probably basing that on people that they've known. I don't know where they get the idea that all people are identical and that every single person wants in some form children. I don't know if they're saying that all people want children so much as they will eventually have children,
Right.
which is scary to think about. It's regardless of whether or not you want one, you will have one.
It's like having a child is the default, right? You get married.
A lot of people have
if you want.
children to save marriages. Because
Oh,
they'll
that's
have
the
a
worst.
shitty marriage, and they'll be like, you know what? Why don't we have a kid, and then I'll lock this down. But
You know
that
what
just makes the divorce proceedings harder.
Yeah, you know who would save this marriage? Another stressor. That's
Yeah,
what's
let's
gonna.
make this fucking camel
Not a
For all it's
vacation,
worth.
not couples therapy, a human
the anvil
child.
that broke the camel's back.
Jesus Christ. But I think that down the road, the biggest thing for me right now preventing me from really going all in on having a child is money. I'm mostly concerned about the fact that a child is super expensive to raise.
Super expensive and annoying.
Most of the stress I feel like comes from the financial aspect of it. If I was like a billionaire, I would probably have a kid.
Because you'd have other people raise it.
Exactly.
At that point.
I would literally just have like nannies take care of everything. I'd just be like, hello, my child. I can just enjoy you for like the cute mini me you are and have everyone else like wipe your ass.
And that's where you get shitty, jaded, annoying kids.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the other thing. I'm so worried about how my kid would turn out. Because is it a nature thing or is it a nurture thing? There's so many different aspects.
I believe it's 100% nurture, but there are people who are adamant that it's like nature, that you can pass your annoying behavior on to another kid. I know you can pass mental illness, but getting some kid who's deathly afraid of turtles is not something he was born with. You took him to the tortoise exhibit and threw him inside, and that's why he's scared of them now. He's like, no, it's just in his genes. My dad before me was terrified of something, and yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Then he's going to grow up to be Tortoise Man. Have a little costume with a turtle
Kami?
shell on his...
No, that's not it. Master Roshi.
Yes, exactly. There you go. But I think that it's definitely a mix between nature and nurture because... Oh, there are like some similarities between parents that I've seen that can only like be a genetic thing. Nurture stuff can definitely be passed down because if a parent has a shitty behavior that they never grow out of, they'll definitely pass it on to their child. Because their kid will just see that and be like, oh, okay, so my parent does that, then I will...
I don't believe that's how... It's not like Assassin's Creed, the Animus, like genetic memory or whatever. That's what people always explain to me when I say, like, oh, nurture is just, it's 100% nurture. And they're so like, well, you know, my mom was scared of birds, and I am scared of birds. But is it because your mom has been telling you that she's scared of birds, and it's slowly seeped into your mind that there's something that should be scary about birds, so now you're slightly fucked up in the head about birds, and there's no other way it could possibly be anything but your genetics, you stupid idiot?
See, I would say, actually, that I think for the genetic argument, and this is just my own personal anecdote, this is not like a scientific thing at all, but I'm like incredibly similar to my dad, like personality-wise. Like constantly I'm just shocked at how we're always kind of just very relaxed people. Like we don't take things very seriously. We kind of just like, I don't know, we never raise our voices, we never get mad, rarely get upset. It's hard to describe, but if you've met my dad, Patrick, I think you would like understand this. That
I've met your dad, and you're nothing like him.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes we're like just very similar. Just like vibe with
granted,
him.
we've had like 2 conversations that lasted maybe 30 seconds, but he seems very different.
Really?
The person you're describing sounds like your dad, not like you.
How would you describe your dad? My dad, sorry.
I was about to say, I don't want to. But your dad seems very quiet and reserved. Yeah. And not that you're not. It's just this is a whole other level of just keeping to himself.
But I think that's because you think it's a whole nother level because he doesn't like know you, right? Like I'm like that with people I have no idea who they are.
I'm not gonna say like I'm Batman. I've got detective skills and I can notice personal tics, but I tend to be a people observer and just watch and see what they do. And even when he was talking to you, or like when we watched the Avatar movie, and or before we left to go see that movie months ago, and during the last summer, when he was talking to your mom or whoever she is, stepmom, he just sort of seems like he waits for people to stop talking and then he starts talking himself. Like he said, he waits for them to be done, then says his thing, and then it seems like whatever he's saying is agreeing with them.
Agreeing with them, okay. See, I would agree with that. I do the same thing, as I always wait for
Very
people
diplomatic.
to stop talking, and then I will jump in. I never interrupt someone because I think it's like the most awkward thing in the world. Well, unless it's like with us, and we're just
maybe
like...
it's kind of hard to nail down what kind of person you are because you're qualifying it based on how well you know the people that you're using your, thing you're drawing your label from.
That's true. It's hard to... Labels are almost impossible. Did you ever take those like personality tests, those Myers-Briggs personality tests?
What is it?
It's basically you have a personality profile that consists of like 4 different letters, and each letter means like a different thing.
How do you take it?
You can just take it online, but we took it on
What's it called?
Like my high school orientation. Just Google like Myers-Briggs.
How do you spell it?
MYERBRIGGS. Just the Myers-Briggs personality test. I forget what I am. I think I'm like an IJ something. IJSC.
What does that mean though?
I don't even know. I don't remember.
16 personalities.
Exactly. And it'll show you like what celebrity personality types you match up with and stuff. It's all pseudoscientific bullshit, which is why I'm like kind of worried that my high school counseling office made every single person take it. So I'm a little confused.
Why they're like, they're not even like deeply disagree. It's just dots to the left and dots to the right of disagree.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like an interesting guide to like examine yourself. Although I don't think it's actually very accurate. I should try and take it again just to see where I end up, but I'm not really sure. You ever take those like political alignment tests where it's...
No, I fucking hate everything to do with just labels and stuff. I am a Democrat. I don't care.
I should get you a label gun for your birthday.
I would use that probably because I've got this thing next to my desk, which is, I don't know, why can't I use words? It's one half of it is drawers, like those that you pull out, and another is sort of a door. It's like a cabinet.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got stickers on all of the drawers, and inside the cabinet there's different shelves, and on the door, like part of the door where behind it lays the shelf, I have sticky notes on each of the sections. So I've got ties and shit, sports clothes, important documents, miscellaneous electronics, Xbox, small safe, books and movies, art shit, and video shit.
Do you really have a safe?
I do.
What do you even keep in there? I feel like I've never had anything important enough.
Baubles that I have, things that I like.
Interesting.
Oh, I got some money in there as well.
Really? You just don't put it in a bank or anything?
I have money in a bank, but I've also got some stashed away.
As like emergency, like end of the world cash?
It's, yeah, I would say so. But even if the end of the world comes, the market's not really going to be important. It's more of just like money that I've put away so that if for some reason, you know, online cash, like some mishap happens. Like I had one time, I got my information stolen while I was in New York. I had to get a new card. So if that happens, I have money, you know.
That's fair. Okay. I feel like I never carry cash on me. What do you?
How do you answer these questions honestly? I don't know if it says you feel superior to other people.
Yes.
Do you?
I don't. I feel like you think you do though.
Why?
You feel like you do. I don't know. You look down on stupid people a lot. That's for sure.
That doesn't make me. And this, I feel like that's a different kind of question.
You should do like a soft agree, but not a hard
Why?
agree.
I don't feel superior to anybody.
Do you feel superior to the stupid people you interact with every day?
That's not the feeling that I have. Because when I like tear them down and giving them like just give them shit for being annoying and stupid, it's not that I think that they're subhuman. I mean, I might describe them that way, but it's like they actually believe that. And does it, like they should be put in camps or something. It's just that I'm making fun of them and taking the piss out of them. I feel like this is hard to answer. I'm just gonna go with
neutral.
The second dot disagree.
Oh no,
because I can't. Well, I'll just put a middle one. I really don't understand it. Be organized.
Read the next one. Let's do this.
Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable. That's hard to answer as well.
I feel like those two aren't related.
I'm really, really organized, but also I'm incredibly adaptable.
Yeah, I feel like they're not really all that related.
Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable. I mean, I disagree. Both are important.
Do you have a preference, I guess, is what it's asking.
Oh, well, I don't, because you do both equally.
Okay.
You're usually highly motivated and energetic. Yes.
Okay. That's
winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset.
No. Hell no.
Disagree. Big old. Disagree. If there was the fourth dot on the side, I would click that one. Well, that's so specifically aimed at me. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. I'll ruin a person's day. You often feel as if you have to justify. No, disagree. Justify yourself to other people. It was your home and work environments are quite tidy, if I can help it. I guess you do not mind being at the center of attention. I don't, not really. You consider yourself more practical and than creative.
I feel like you have a good balance.
I'm creative,
but you
this is another one of those like those aren't. It's like you consider yourself an orange, but not a carrot. What?
Yeah, I guess it's like.
I guess I just disagree.
You have a good balance. No, you have a good balance where you're very practical about certain real life things.
I'm
but
very
then you also
objective
enjoy
about
being
most
creative.
things.
Yeah, you enjoy being creative for fun and stuff.
People can rarely upset you. People piss me off all the time. I would say upset is sort of like, how dare you, and be like seriously, genuinely have some like bad reaction to something, but I really don't. It's more like. If I can do, let me see. Oh, I just left the tab. But it's this face that it goes from that right there. That's the extent of how I get upset at people.
Yeah, like
what? It's like just what? Your travel plans are usually well thought out. I mean, yeah, I'm not an idiot. It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Your mood can change very quickly. Soft degree.
I feel like you're pretty. I don't know.
My mood can change. I guess. In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. Absolutely. You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people. No, actually, I'm very, very aware of that.
Definitely not.
No. I'm like super. It comes with like lying as well. I do that.
Oh my god! I was gonna bring up that conversation we had, but you seem to like be tying that into it.
It's like I am hyper aware of how everything will affect anyone, and super aware of how like all their sensitivities like branch out like little strands. Like I know how that works, and I am very like deftly navigating a minefield. Like I know exactly what will upset someone, and I'll try my best not to. I'd rather, because if this is another thing. It's not like I care what they think. It's just that I don't want to be badly affected by their stupid reaction to whatever it is I might say that would upset them. So it's like more of a selfish thing than empathizing with them. So you rarely worry about how your actions affect others.
So you lie to avoid hurting people's feelings. What they don't know.
It's not always lying. It's just like my actions usually relate to, are if I come to some like thing and I'll think like, if this upsets them, will it affect me badly? I don't want me to be the person they're mad at. If it affects someone else, I don't care.
Would you throw someone under the bus to save your own skin so that person's not mad at you?
Save my own skin.
Yeah.
Give me a better example.
So let's say,
clear your throat.
Let's say a friend of yours thought you were trash talking her.
Yeah.
And there were two of you.
Two of us.
And you weren't actually trash talking her, but neither was the other guy. You don't know who was trash talking her or if anyone actually was. Would you say, no, it wasn't me, it was actually him?
I still don't understand the situation. So she believes that one of the two of the people that are standing in front of her, including me and a friend, were at some point trash talking her.
Yes.
I would convince her that we weren't.
Yeah, I guess there is a third option.
I mean, it's the only option.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess
you're trying to come up with like
would you throw someone under the bus
for
to save your own skin for any reason?
I can't think of a situation where I would do that. Throw someone under the bus.
Oh, how about, okay, if you were hypothetically robbing a bank and the police caught you, but they didn't have the other three people you did it with, and the police were like, we'll let you go scot-free if you ID the other people that helped you rob that bank. Would you do it? You would do it?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm robbing a bank. I have nothing to fucking lose, apparently. You give me a weird situation.
I mean, I would probably
Seeing as I'm robbing a bank... Can you think of the last news story where someone robbed a bank?
Yeah. People just rob ATMs these days.
I've just made history. I'm going to leave.
I would
What is
be
this,
afraid.
the Old West?
It is. I would be afraid that there would be some like sort of criminal backlash that like I'll walk home and then like that guy's brother who I like ratted out just comes.
Oh
and, like,
yeah,
slits
the
my
police
throat
are
while I'm
notoriously
walking.
slapdash about keeping informants' IDs on.
Yeah.
They're usually throwing that shit all over the place.
Well, hey, you can let slip. I mean,
Witness protection is notoriously slapdash.
witness protection is just moving you across the street with a different name. And they give you a fake mustache to put on.
Your work style is closer to random energy spikes than to a methodical and organized approach. Disagree. I hate people who are
really?
like that. Yeah.
I would agree. I feel like that's you.
Methodical and organized approach. What do you mean?
Your
random energy spikes.
Your work style is random energy spikes.
What do you know me from work?
We literally worked together.
That was years ago.
That was like 2-3 years ago.
I have matured quite a bit since
Okay.
then.
Well, I'm proud of you.
I did for a long time. I was super lazy, and I would come up with reasons why I wouldn't go to work. And
Oh, no.
thinking about it now makes me very uncomfortable that I let people down like that. It's just so gross to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are often envious of others.
I don't think so.
Mildly, I guess.
Really?
I've just put a middle one. I don't really understand the
I don't really
Like-
think of you as an envious person.
envious.
I think you're just regularly envious.
I think that for some time in my life I might have been, but now I think it's not necessarily that I've become more mature and am not envious. It's just that I know that if someone found out I envied them, they would feel better about themselves, so I don't do it anymore.
Okay.
It's a selfish thing.
Fair.
It's just like, if I care about what they have and they find out, then they'll feel better. So it's like, oh, cool, he's envious of me. But if I just don't, I don't give a shit. An interesting book or video game is often better than a social event. Yep.
True.
Not a book, though. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project. Disagree. Doing the project is the most important part. I never come up with a plan. You rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas. Disagree. You often find yourself lost in thought when you are walking in nature. Agree.
Yeah. I feel
I
like
love
if
nature.
you don't, that's weird.
What, you're like doing taxes?
Yeah. If you're like thinking about like other shit, but
If someone does not respond to your email quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong. I agree with that. Only slightly, though. I don't really care that much. As a parent, you would rather see your child grow up kind than smart. Agree completely. They can be dumb as shit.
yeah, I'd rather them not be like a sociopath.
That's another worry about parenting, is that I would create a sociopath, because I'm not saying I'm like a Rubik's Cube, but I feel like I'm a really complex person, and trying to impart just a little bit, like just enough of like goodness onto someone, I would end up telling them like, oh, you should hate this kind of person. If you ever meet this kind of person, you should slap them. I don't know how to make a person the right way, so I feel like I would
Same.
screw it up.
What website are you on? I'm trying to find the.
I'm on 16personalities.com.
Oh, okay, cool.
You
That's
do
what I
not let
saw.
other people influence your actions.
I don't think you do.
Other people influence your actions. I mean, people are all there is, and my actions are influenced by things, and things are, results of people. So I would say agree, soft agree. When you sleep, your dreams tend to focus on the real world and its events. Disagree. It does not take you much time to start getting involved in social activities at your new workplace. I never go to social activities at my new workplace.
Your work people, fellow employees, do they hang out after work and shit?
They do, and they ask why I don't show up a lot.
weird.
You are more of a natural improviser than a careful planner. I would agree with that.
Yeah, soft agree.
Your emotions control you more than you control them. What emotions?
Jesus Christ. I would say soft disagree. If it was a few years ago, I feel like. Actually, no, it'd probably still be like disagree.
Your emotions control you more than you control them. No.
Basically, are you even in control of your emotions?
Are you objective or emotional, I think, is a question. You enjoy going to social events that have involved dress up. Fuck that. You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas. It just sounds like hypotheticals.
Yeah, 100%.
You would rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan. Yep.
Didn't you already answer that?
It's a similar question. Are you relatively reserved and quiet person?
Yeah.
It depends.
In most settings?
In most settings, I would completely agree, yeah. To the average person, I'm never going to talk to them. If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but underperforming employees. No.
Oh, damn. Heartless.
If you're loyal and I like you, then you should be doing your job.
That's true.
There should be no, like, qualms about firing someone who is not doing their job or has done something worthy of firing. If they've like, you know, wasn't there some kid, am I allowed to tell this story, but was like the kid who showed up to work in a manner of you weren't working there that year. Oh, well, some kid showed up to work on acid. It was the last year I was a lifeguard.
Yeah, wasn't that
don't name
the
him.
Assistant manager's brother?
Why would you say that?
That's not a name at all.
I know, but that's very specific.
Because I want to know.
I mean, I just didn't want to play it safe, just to make sure. But yeah, some kid showed up on acid, and then apparently, the most time he was there, the rest of the employees spent a lot of time just corralling him and like making sure he wasn't doing anything stupid. And he would yell at customers, and he was pointing at like the trees and saying they were moving and trying to get to him and stuff. And they eventually just took him into the guard office and tied him up because he was so weirdly violent and creepy to everyone. And then they sent him home. Like his sister like came and got him or something like that, and took him home. And then the event got filed, and they started talking about it. And then upper management got wind, and they called him and asked him what had happened. And instead of lying like a smart person, I believe the question was, what happened? And he said, I was on acid. He just said that. And he got fired, like, immediately. I would have just said, I was sick. I'm going through some stuff.
Yeah.
Anything but that.
Really?
And apparently, like, the people who were working there and were asked questions by upper management were intentionally vague to save his ass. They were like, yeah, I mean, he just seems sort of out of it, even though they knew that he was on acid. Like, he was telling them the entire time that he was.
Didn't he show up to swim lessons on acid once?
He had done a lot of shit. Like, it was just the last straw in a fucking deluxe family-sized pack of straws.
God.
You often contemplate the reasons for human existence. Yep.
Yeah.
Logic is usually more important than heart when it comes to making important decisions.
Yes?
Yeah. Keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list. What?
I think it's...
Keeping your options open.
Basically, do you like to have a set plan, or do you like to go with the flow?
I kind of go with the flow. If your friend is sad about something, you are more likely to offer emotional support than suggest ways to deal with the problem. Completely disagree. You rarely feel insecure. I feel insecure all the time.
Really? What
does insecure mean? Like, what does this insecure mean?
Insecure means you feel bad about something. You feel like you want to hide that thing, that part of yourself, from other people as much as you can.
Say soft disagree.
What do you feel insecure about? I'm curious.
It could be anything. My looks or
competition.
I'm huge about. If someone like beats me in a competition, I'll be very insecure about it. It's just like, like one of the few times I'll be genuinely upset is when I lose.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you a competitive person by nature, or
absolutely?
You are.
It's either video games, sports, anything.
Yeah.
It'll go from like, haha, let's all just play this game together to you see that meme where someone's sitting like relaxed in a chair playing video games, and then they go to like elbows on knees, like with a blank face, and you know it's serious now. That's pretty much everything. Like it just, the scales tip and it's become serious.
Fair.
So yeah. You have no difficulties coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it.
No.
No.
I don't think you make timetables at all.
I do. I make schedules for myself when I go to New York to do model stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to
God, get the fuck out of here.
I agree. I mean, if we're doing the job right, we got to be right. You think that everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they are supported by fact? Fucking disagree.
No, fuck that.
Stupid.
You have the right to be stupid, but I also have the right to tell you how fucking stupid you are.
No, you do not have the right to be stupid. You feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people. Yeah, if I like the people. You frequently misplace your things. I don't remember the last time I actually lost something. You see yourself as very emotionally stable. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Why do you think I'm not?
I don't know. I guess so. Vague. I don't really know enough about you. That's a pretty personal thing.
I don't think I don't really hold anything back that I feel anybody should know. I don't really have, not that some personal torment.
Not that like I don't know you.
I mean, there have been times when I've been depressed, but it's like it's the same with most people. It's just sort of like your life is a line, and there are sometimes you just go into a valley where you feel like you're not going to get out, and it's the depression and everything, and then you come back out and you feel miles better. But it's sort of the dread of knowing it might come back because it's like some miswiring in your brain. Yeah. So there's that, but there's no like general like dread or anything like that or emotional instability.
Okay.
Your mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's you.
All the drafts in my head that I won't post.
You
would not call yourself a dreamer.
But I'm not the only one.
Not call yourself a dreamer. Why didn't you just say you would call yourself a dreamer so it's easier to answer? It's like it's double negative.
I guess because it makes you want to think about it.
You would not call yourself a dreamer. I disagree. That's hard to answer. You usually find it difficult to relax when talking in front of many people. Disagree. I used to be, but not anymore. Generally speaking, you rely more on your experience than your imagination. Experience than imagination. I would have to go in the middle for that because sometimes it's an improvisation and sometimes it's just like, oh, I had this happen before and based on my experience, I will do this.
Yeah.
You worry too much about what other people think. Soft degree. If the room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center. A soft degree. You have a tendency to procrastinate until there is not enough time to do everything. I used to do that with schoolwork a lot, but I don't do that with stuff that I'm required to do for money.
So you're not a big procrastinator anymore?
Not with most things anymore. So I'll do a medium disagree.
Is it because you enjoy those things, or because
it's because I know that doing it will either get me money or because I genuinely enjoy what I'm doing?
Okay.
You feel very anxious in stressful situations. Disagree. You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful. I completely agree. You have always been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things. Example in books, movies, or art. Unconventional and ambiguous. So like those shitty pieces of art that are like smearings of paint and it's all about how you interpret it that then makes it good.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I hate that shit.
You often take initiative in social situations.
Do you?
Initiative.
Like you're the first person to say, let's go do something.
I do that a lot, but I don't know what initiative means.
That's exactly what I just described.
I don't know.
So I guess you do
take initiative. It's medium agree. Results. Commander. Huh. I guess I'm in charge.
You're a commander. I can see that.
Of what? Commander of sadness?
I mean...
Commander of a lack of empathy?
You're the commander of your own life. How about
commander of the annoying squad?
Yeah, bet.
My personality type is ENTJ-A.
Here, write that down.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm going to take mine, though. ENT.
Should we just do this? Because this is like
yeah.
probably not that interesting for the people listening.
Really? I can probably breeze through mine quicker. If this ends up not being interesting, I'm sorry, but I feel like...
Well, what did you get last time?
I don't remember. It was years ago. Like, I would have to fucking log into my high school email to try and figure that out. All right. You find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people. I would agree with that. Soft.
You do?
Yeah.
That's sad. You suck.
You often get so lost in thoughts that you ignore or forget your surroundings. I would disagree. Try to respond to your emails as soon as possible and cannot stand a messy inbox. Strong agree.
Mm-hmm.
I always look at emails immediately.
But sometimes I'll get a message and I'll like consider how much time I should wait before answering because it's weird to answer so immediately, but then I'll forget about answering.
Exactly.
So it'll be like 3 hours and look like I'm a very casual, cool guy responding 3 hours later.
Precisely.
I had other shit to do, not that I wasn't just staring at the screen looking at an email.
I usually will just like write out a draft, save it for an hour, come back to it, rewrite it, and then send it. You find it easy to stay relaxed even when there is some pressure. I would disagree with that. I'm always stressed.
You really? You can't do under pressure.
I always have a slight amount of stress on me.
I enjoy helping people become comfortable during those pressured situations. Like if someone's getting very stressed about something, I can console them, and I really enjoy seeing that they become more comfortable.
I find myself to actually get pretty uncomfortable pretty quickly if I have no stress for some reason. Like before I started working and I just had a shit ton of free time where I didn't have to do any work all day for days on end, I got super restless and felt uncomfortable all the time if I didn't do something. So I always feel like I need a little bit of something, you know.
Like what?
Like a little bit of like, like a routine or like a task to do that day. And then when I relax, like later in the day, I don't feel bad about it. You do not usually initiate conversations. Agree, soft agree. You rarely do something just out of sheer curiosity. I would disagree with that. You feel superior to other people. Oh yeah, I would disagree with that. Do you think I'm a superior kind of person? Not superior.
I don't know. I don't live in your head.
Okay. Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable.
I feel like you're more of an organization kind of person.
Yeah, I would say so too.
When it comes to like planning for podcasts and stuff, you usually want to nail down what we're gonna do before.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, you know what, let's just wing it.
Let's just fucking go for it.
I'll record on this day, and you can record yours on this day, and then we'll link the two together and pretend we talked.
God, I've thought about the logistics of that before. I'm like, if we like,
what
could we fake a conversation well enough?
You could do. Here's the topic. I'm gonna talk a little bit, and then at the 15-second mark, you say, well, actually,
like I've thought about.
I guess you could fake it, but it would look really bad.
Yeah, I've thought about if one of us talks for an hour by themselves and then leaves little gaps in between, that I could just then record myself responding to what you're saying and cut it together to make it kind of seem like we're having a normal conversation.
That's just like an audible letter.
Yeah, basically.
That's stupid. Read the next question. You
not work out well. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset.
You probably are more concerned about people's feelings.
Yeah,
that's what I think. I think you won't give it your all because you know that it might like ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, I would do a soft disagree. It
I
depends.
will legitimately call people that I've just met stupid out of reflex because I say it so much. Big, stupid, dumb idiot is something that I have like in a holster in my brain.
It depends who it is. If I like the person, then I'll care about their feelings. If I don't like them at all, I will not give a shit. If it's someone I don't really know, then I'll usually be cautious about it. You often feel as if you have to justify yourself to other people. Disagree. Your home and work environments are quite tidy. Agree with that. You do not mind being the center of attention. Soft agree.
I feel like you had that stressful situation where you're getting interviewed and there were a bunch of people around you and you get very like nervous.
When was that?
You told us about it on the podcast.
Oh, like for a job?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can kind of...
You were the center of attention.
Yeah.
And you said you were very nervous and the conversation became very awkward.
It sometimes goes really well and sometimes it goes really poorly. It depends on the interviewer, really.
Soft agree.
Yeah, soft agree. People can rarely upset you. I would actually agree with that. Okay. Sometimes you piss me off just because I know you're trying to piss me off.
I like knowing because you said you have the interruption thing that you don't interrupt people, but I know that I've gotten you when it's you're getting louder and you also don't care about what I'm saying anymore. It's you. I've said something and I'll be like halfway through, it's like, yeah, but you, and then you're like, no, shut up, hold on. It's really great. It's the best. Getting someone mad who isn't normally like easy to get mad is the best. It's fucking icing on the cake.
I hate you. I'm just doing a few like these easy ones and not reading them out. It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. No, I would disagree. I feel like I'm too empathetic sometimes, like for people that don't deserve it. Your mood can change very quickly. Disagree. I'm a pretty solid person. In discussion, truth should be more important than other people's sensitivities. I would agree. You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people.
Disagree by a lot.
Really? You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people. I'm not inconsiderate. I think I definitely...
Wait. So, is agreeing saying that you care about what people feel?
Yes.
So, yeah, go with that. I was like, wait, how's it worded?
Yeah.
I wasn't hammering home how I don't care, and I was answering again.
An interesting book or video game is often better than a social event. Hard agree. Being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project. Agree. You rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas. I don't know. Does that include like daydreaming? Because when I get bored, I daydream about all sorts of shit.
I feel like on the face of you, I wouldn't believe that you have a lot of fantasies going on in your head, but I don't know how your head works, so...
I feel like I have fantasies.
Soft degree, maybe.
More when I'm bored or don't have like anything else to think about. When I'm going to bed, for example, and I'm just like with my thoughts, I always like my mind just wanders off into a fantasy, and that's usually how I fall asleep. You know, that's like my goal. I don't count sheep or anything like that. I just think about, I don't know, my happy place, so to speak. I do find myself lost in nature. I do get worried about people not responding to my emails. I would soft agree, like to see my child grow up kind. I don't let other people influence my actions. I do a little bit just because I don't want to. That kind of ties back to the care about not hurting their feelings or whatever. When you sleep, your dreams tend to focus on the real world and its events. I would disagree with that. My dreams get all fucking sorts of weird. One time I had a dream that I was living in this townhouse my parents lived in when I was super young, and I was home alone, and the entire plot of Jumanji happened, but like in my townhouse.
Is it
except all the animals.
Wait.
What?
Is that a movie called Jumanji, but it's about a Hasidic version of Robin Williams?
Get the fuck out of here.
Jumanji. Alright, anyway, continue.
I hate you so much. But like all the animals were tiny, and I was just scared of all the tiny animals in my house, and I was freaking out, and I couldn't get out of the house. That was one of my most memorable dreams for some reason. I carry that around with me everywhere I go.
I had a dream about a bunch of animals in my house 2 houses ago. They were like how if you had a little animal figurine that had manipulatable legs, like a lion or something, you could bend its legs up and down. If it was bent all the way down, so it was sort of like standing on its hind legs with its other legs, front legs sort of down to its side. I had a dream that a bunch of actual animals were in those positions and slowly walking towards me as I was standing in my room, and it was completely dark and at night, and they chased me for like forever. So it was like very weirdly manipulated anthropomorphic animals chasing me around. I had a ton of nightmares when I was younger. It was like almost every single time I went to sleep, it was a nightmare.
I think we actually got like an email question related to nightmares. I'll have to look at that later. But I just skipped like 2 pages.
Yeah, the emails are a fucking doozy this week.
I rarely feel insecure. I feel
like no one can answer that with no, because everybody has insecurities.
I used to be way more insecure. Now I'm kind of aware of my insecurities, and I'm kind of over them. I'm tired of being insecure about them, but I still do care, and I will take like active steps to reduce them. If that makes sense.
I have it where I'll have the insecure thought, and then I'll be like, I shouldn't think that, and then the action will not reflect my insecurity. I'll have the thought, but it doesn't come into play in my life, because otherwise the other person wins.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's not even another person. It's just like me against myself.
It's not. That's not what I mean. Like the judgment of other people that I imagine wins.
Okay.
So I just sort of just ruined it from my mind. It's just gone.
That's fair. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to teamwork. I would disagree. Well, actually, it depends. It really just depends on how stupid the people I'm dealing with are. So I would say soft agree. You think that everyone's views should be respected? Nope. Regardless of whether or not they're supported by the facts. You feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people. I'm actually fucking exhausted after spending time with a group of people. I look forward to going home at the end of the night. Like, a lot of the time, my friends will have people over at his house, like drinking stuff, and people are more than welcome to sleep over. And I used to sleep over all the time, but I haven't slept over there in a while, mostly just because like I love to go home, even if it's at like 1 a.m. I just love being alone in my own bed by myself, comfortable as can be. You feel more energetic after. So no, that's a no. I misplace things. Do not. I see myself as emotionally stable. I would say yeah. I think sometimes I'm too emotionally stable. Like sometimes I don't react to things. I'm worried that if something tragic happens, like someone close to me dies, that I won't react in a way that
I've thought about that too,
acceptable.
But the worry isn't about my mental like health. Like, oh, what does it mean that I don't care that someone died for myself? Like, does it mean I'm insane? It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. But I worry because I feel like I'm obligated to care, and other people will judge me for not feeling anything.
Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes, even though I'll feel like, like I don't have to cry or anything, like I don't feel the urge to cry, I'll feel like maybe am I like subconsciously repressing something or something else going on that I'm not even aware of right now, I think about that a lot, that like maybe I do have these feelings, but I'm just like not letting them out, even if I'm not actively aware of that, Like maybe there's just something deep down. Generally speaking, you rely more on your experience than your imagination. Definitely agree with that. You worry too much about what other people think. Soft disagree. If the room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center. That sounds like a survival strategy, like scoping out the room to make sure there are no goddamn enemies or something. Yeah, I think it is like an evolution thing. But I don't stay close to the walls. That's weird.
Perks of being a wallflower.
Yeah, I feel like there's just some Scott Pilgrim shit where you just hang out on a wall for the entire party.
With terrible posture and sort of with your head down, like
like just go to a couch, be comfortable.
I'm just a sad boy in a sad town in Oregon. It's raining. It's kind of snowy. I'm just looking for a sad girl who's slightly more interesting, who will have a weird shot that looks like she's shining like a god that makes it seem like I like her a lot.
God,
those are all those fucking Paper Towns movies.
Yeah, all those sad boy movies, soft boy, whatever you want to call it.
Sad soft boy.
Sad soft boys. You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful. I would agree with that. If people like you, you can get away with a lot of shit. That's like a power in and of itself, honestly. That's like how to win friends and influence people. You have always been interested in unconventional and ambiguous things.
How many more questions are there?
Movies. There's just
this is less interesting when I'm not doing it.
There's
how selfish I am.
You were a piece of shit. There's just one more. I skipped a bunch. Well, I didn't skip, but I just went through them while you were talking. Actually, we're at the results right now. I am an ISTJA. I am a logistician. Interesting.
What?
Yeah, I'm a fuck.
I can see that, actually.
Yeah, I'm glad I have that. I'm gonna write mine down. So
was that supposed to?
Well, I wrote you down.
I just got commander
for you bitch. You're an ENTJA and I'm an ISTJ.
What does that mean?
ENTJ means it's an abbreviation used in the publications of Myers-Briggs. It stands for extroversion, intuition, thinking, and judgment. Mine stands for introversion, sensing, thinking, and judgment. So you're extroverted and I'm introverted. Which
I feel like I'm pretty introverted. I have a social battery and it runs out after like one. I can do like one a week, like go out with someone once or go to a party or something, and then I'll be like, all right, I'm good for the next 2 weeks, and I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, like I feel like
even texting, I don't want to do that because I feel like I'm drained.
I do feel that if I'm not doing anything for like a week, I feel like I need that one thing where I go out with friends, socialize, and whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
And then I'm fine after that.
It's like you have
like,
a
I get
feeling
my
it's like, all right, I'm ready to go out again.
Yeah, like there's a certain fix I need to get, to avoid feeling like I am.
So it's
total
not
waste of
that you
space
necessarily
in a
enjoy it, but you just feel like you're obligated to.
No, I do. I do actually enjoy it when I'm out, but if I do it too much, I can quickly not enjoy it. I'd actually be like, I start to feel like really sad and lonely if I am not doing it. Actually. All right. Do you want to jump into emails and shit?
Why was Millie Bobby Brown even on Twitter?
Why wouldn't she be? She's a celebrity. You can just make money by being famous and being
How
on
old was
Twitter. She's like 14, I think.
I feel like I wouldn't do that if I was. I mean, I would want to. Obviously, young Patrick wants to do all sorts of things, but
yeah.
I feel like it's just so much opportunity for you to say something stupid.
Oh, for sure.
Because you don't know anything. I'm not saying she's stupid. It's just that she's 14, and I was stupid when I was 14, and every other 14-year-old is fucking stupid. So
yeah, 100%. It's funny because I have had my Twitter since 2009, 2008, which is like 10 years, which is fucking crazy. I had a Twitter before I had a Facebook, so there was a lot of shit on there that was just dumb as fuck. Just me saying stupid shit from when I was like fucking 10 years old, like 11 years old. I was a goddamn dumbass. But I purged like my entire Twitter account like a few months ago, so none of that shit is there.
Yeah, before I was gonna mention it, like you did it, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I really need to clean
I purged
that up.
it. I had like 46 or 26,000 something tweets.
A lot of stuff.
Got rid of all of them. Well. Yeah, now I only have like, I think I'm back up to 100 finally, but
I used to care about the number of tweets because I feel like it was like too many, but now I don't care anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't give a shit. But I feel like I have more. I don't know. I'm very careful with what I say now, because before I used to be all like, "Oh, Donald Trump is the worst. He is literally a Nazi." Blah, blah, blah. But now, like, I really can't do that, and I also don't want to be one of those annoying
it's just
people.
That everybody says that, and it gets tiresome.
Yeah, exactly. I don't fuck with that. Like, I hold my tongue on a lot of things online. I've said this before, but yeah, especially I do so now. It's kind of weird because, judging by my past few tweets, some of the stuff I put no effort into gets like a pretty big reaction, at least for me. Like the IHOB stuff, I was like, if this is permanent, this is the worst rebranding of all time. That's just like a pretty general comment I made, like just off the cuff. I didn't really think too much about it. That shit got 36 likes, which is a lot for me. And I was like, Jesus, okay, that did not deserve that much of attention. That is pretty dumb.
36 whole likes. Good for you, bud.
Yeah, no. Well, we can't all have fucking 10,000 whatever fucking followers.
I'm just fucking with you.
Get the fuck out of here with your.
I don't even know I have that many followers on Twitter. Most of the things I tweet are only making me laugh. If I will fall on the floor laughing at something I've thought about, and it has nothing to do with anything anyone's ever done. It's just something I made in my head, and it makes me laugh so hard, and it will never make anybody else laugh. But I just like. What was the thing I did about Ocean's 8 or whatever? That, I was, like, crying, like, in pain, laughing at that. Like, it was just it was, like, not even a joke. It's just a weird stringing together of words about vaginas. And it made me laugh so fucking hard.
The way you said it, I thought it was real, but then I realized it was a joke. And either way, it was really fucking funny. And I was like, if that actually
I'm never going to tweet that because it's just weird.
I think you should tweet that.
It's not, like, sexist or anything. It's just weird.
That sounds like, I don't know. No, I would tweet that if I wasn't in a profession where
that's
I
what
need
I
to
mean.
keep my Twitter
I have
pretty
obligations.
Clean. Yeah.
I'm not a loser yet.
Yeah, fucking.
But yeah, Millie Bobby fucking Brown. Why would people, like, did she delete it or was she, like, did her parents step in?
I don't know. I think she's actually mostly managed by her parents. I hear that a lot. She has a pretty overbearing mom or dad or something.
I know her brother did. Her brother administered her Instagram, and it's in her bio.
Administered is such a weird word.
Yeah, it was strange phrasing, but yeah, her brother made her Instagram, and I don't know if he like audits it or anything like that, or audits.
Well, because she was always making Instagram stories on her own, so I doubt he was like really in control of it.
Well, I don't know what she meant. Maybe she's just like giving her brother some big ups. I don't know.
Some big ups. Yeah, I have no clue. I don't really care one way or the other, but it just sucks to see so many people constantly
because presumably
just getting shit on online. Do people enjoy tweeting?
I do. It's one of my favorite formats. Just here's like a 10-word thing that I think is funny. It's like Vine. That's the same appeal.
You know what I don't get? Is that, how we crossed 10,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel like a month ago? We're now at 11,000. That's so weird. We're at 11,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel.
I'm not saying it's all because of this, but recently the videos I've been making have like gotten like 100,000 views on Instagram for some reason, and I don't even tag anything in it. So maybe it's this flux of new people because I have Prude in my bio.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but we keep growing even though we haven't had a real video in like a long ass time, which we should probably do something about that.
I mean, I don't feel like it's necessary, but I guess it would spice things up.
Yeah, I don't know, but
this seems to be doing well enough.
Yeah, I mean, the podcasts are doing like really great numbers. Like just like skimming over this right now.
I don't like thinking about it like that. I just do this because it's fun.
It's all about the ratings,
and that's what I say.
Ratings,
but I
actually
care about the numbers a lot.
I care about the iTunes ratings a lot, which are constantly improving, which is great to see.
Because I feel like this format is. I don't like podcasts that are like we're the Nancy Drew bros. We read Nancy Drew books and then comment about it. It's like that's so specific. It's such a niche thing.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a market for that, I guess. A group of people who really like it, but all 7 of them are not going to like support my need to make this.
Yeah, podcasts have to strike a really weird balance between being niche enough to be original, but also being not too niche enough to have like some sort of success actually. Because, and we talked about this in one of my classes, there was like one podcast where a bunch of guys just drink wine and talk about whatever they want and get drunk, like more and more progressively drunk, and eventually the wine company has started sending them like free wine to like sponsor them, which is like pretty crazy.
Support their alcoholism.
Yeah, pretty much. I imagine you would develop a problem, honestly, if you did that.
That's like with the Funhouse drunk videos. Like they'll have like, oh, we're playing Mario Kart, but we're drinking while we're doing it. Yeah. I love those videos. But when the fans like will comment about it, they'll say like, yeah, you should do more drunk gameplays, and then they'll say the same explanation, which I completely agree with, which is pretty atypical when it comes to explanations from Funhouse about why they do things. But it'll be like, yeah, we want to do those, but it'll kill us if we do it too much because it's just really unhealthy to drink that much that often.
Yeah, true.
Especially for a fucking formatted video.
Yeah. Do you think we should do that at some point?
Drunk stuff? I'm 20.
Yeah. Oh, true. I just turned 21, so I don't care.
You're welcome to be drunk while we do this, Alex. That'll improve this so much when the only person who gives this structure is completely smashed.
Yeah. I would actually... I wish I could see how that would go down, you know?
You would hear it. You wouldn't see much.
Yeah. I'd probably, like, fall asleep half an hour into
What kind of drunk are you? I don't remember. The only time I've ever seen you drinking was that one party that we went to, but I told your girlfriend's sister that she was ugly.
God, that was so bad.
I think about that all the time, and it still makes me laugh.
It should not make you laugh. That was an awful moment.
Fucking bad, yeah. But also, you guys pressured me into talking to her when I didn't want to.
I didn't really pressure you.
No, you did.
I was just
can remember so clearly. Like you were standing there next to Kalina, and you handed me a cup, and then she was just like, "Oh, my sister's a big fan of your vines. You should go talk to her." And gave me a little bit of a pantomime elbow, like, "Hey, you should go talk to her because it could be a romantic thing." And then I was like, "I'm good." And then she was like, "Why?" And I said, "I took one look at her, and it's so bad." And I've brought this up before, but it made me laugh so hard when I got home that night.
It's like
I apologize profusely, and she never even found out that I said that because that would be awful to know. But I think it's so funny.
It's just like so bad, and you just said it so quickly without hesitating. You said it so quickly without hesitating, and it's the delivery.
Why are you guys trying to
just killed it?
Play Dr. Love when I just want to hang out? I'm like, whenever that happens to me all the fucking time. Like friends of mine We'll assume I'm a fucking swinger or something, that I need to be in a romantic, involvement with someone at all times, or I'll die or something. Like, we got to set you guys up. It's always people who are in a couple. They love the idea of setting other people up, especially if they know the people. It's just like, shut up, leave me alone. You're not my fucking parents.
God damn. Sorry, we won't do that again.
You never did, and you learned your lesson.
Yeah, we never really did. We really learned our lesson. We should have Kalina on this podcast to tell that story. That
should be great.
I feel like we've been saying that forever, but it's like 48 episodes in now, and she still hasn't come on yet.
She's not even funny. We should have her on.
You piece of shit. God. Now I know you're just saying that's like get a rise out of me. Or
people shouldn't say that. That means something completely different in my head than what people think.
Get a rise? You think you're making my dick
Get
hard?
An erection out of you. Get a rise? I don't feel like I'm rising when I get angry.
Like, if a fucking, like, old man came up to you and was mad at you because you weren't cooperating or by helping him, like, I don't know, lift weights or some shit. He's like, young man, are you trying to get a rise out of me? And you're like, no, and you're just like, no, I'm not trying to get your dick hard, sir.
I wouldn't say that, no. I would be like, no. Because that's not a podcast, and I don't get to make fun of him and be okay with it.
That's true. What do you think, if you had to be fired, what is the one way you want to go out?
What does that mean?
If you had to be fired, like...
What would I do?
Yeah.
I would leave.
If you really wanted to get fired, what would you... Okay, fucking...
What crime would I commit? What do you... Like, I would vandalize the property before I left?
Yeah.
No.
If you, like, really just wanted to lose your job for whatever reason...
I would leave. Quit. I would request if, like, I would give them my 2 weeks notice and I would leave after 2 weeks. God damn. Why would I do anything that... this is the same thing. It's like, if it badly affects me, I'm not going to do it.
Okay. If you quit, you don't get a bonus. But if you get fired, you do get a compensation. So you have to make your boss fire you. What do you do?
Stop showing up to work. Give them a couple of no call, no shows for 3 shifts. I should do it.
Damn. You always come up with the most boring answers.
Because it's safe.
Like work.
I don't... in this situation in which for some reason I would like to be fired, which is so stupid. No gainful employment for me, thanks. I'll show you.
You wouldn't, like, drop a weight.
Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
You wouldn't, like,
damage the property. Yeah, let's do that. Let's break all the fucking mirrors in this gym that'll cost like $9,000 to repair because I think it'll be funny while I walk out the door, as if they're not gonna call the cops.
Probably would be funny as you walked out the door, though.
I set all the fucking like robes on fire in the men's locker room. What a prank, dude! I've never understood pranking ever. I've never you've
never done a prank.
No, it's not even that. It's just like friends who have like, oh, we prank each other all the time. Like I filled his car with golf balls or something. If you did that to me, I would never talk to you again. You've inconvenienced me, and I hate you now.
I just saw something on Twitter.
I've egged your cars. Like that's fucking revolting, and I need to pay for a car wash now. You're never gonna talk to me again.
There was these 2 other people I follow on Twitter who do this web series I really like, and one of them filled the other's office with a bunch of like rubber balls or plastic balls or whatever for her birthday. So she just came in and her office was just filled with like a bunch of colorful plastic balls, and that was the surprise.
You remember that scene from...
That's supposed to be like a joke, and I'd be like, that's annoying as fuck. Get these fucking balls out of my office.
The scene from Days of Future Past when Magneto goes haywire and he starts fiddling with a plane, and all this like shit is flying everywhere, and he's like preaching about how, oh, you were never there, blah blah blah, and then it ends. And then Magneto's like sitting back down, and Wolverine says, "You want to pick all that shit up now?" And that's basically me at the end of it, and that stupid prank. That's not funny.
God, I should rewatch that movie.
That movie's so fucking good.
All right, let's actually get into the fucking mail this time. This one's from Sydney. Hello, Prude. I've been a listener for quite some time, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. Is it worth to keep in touch with friends from high school? I just graduated, and recently I've been dabbling in the thought of just cutting off people because they seem boring or hasty with our friendship. I did this when I moved schools in junior year, and I'm thinking about doing this now that I'm going off to college. I know quite a few people that are attending the same college but keeping up a friendship. I'm not interested, and it seems incredibly tiring and not worthwhile. What should I do? I think, as someone who's still friends with their friends from high school, you should just, if you don't like these people, then you don't have to be friends with them. It's pretty simple.
I think you should. You have no obligation to talk to anybody ever. You could Yaman is the only person that I still talk to from Edison.
Yeah, I mean, if you like these people, you should want to talk to them.
I don't think the question is, should I keep my friends? It's that I feel like I should. There's some push to keep in touch with my high school companions, and I would not like to do that. Should I? Do I have to? It's no, you do not. I don't talk to anybody. Well, she says
she's thinking, or he or she, I think it's a she though, have been thinking about cutting them off because they seem boring or hasty with our friendship.
Yeah.
So that to me indicates that they're probably not good friends and you don't really enjoy them.
Because most of the time, the friends that you have, in air quotes, is because we have one thing in common, and it's that we go to school together. So we don't have to maintain this stupid non-friendship because we were once in the same building for a period of time. You can just move on with your life and be friends with people who you relate to and enjoy things with.
Exactly. That's what I would say. If you don't actually care for these people that much, feel free to just drop it, Just one day when you go to school or whatever, just don't text them and you'll be fine.
Maybe don't be as aggressive about it as I am.
I mean, don't be aggressive. Don't be hey, we're not friends anymore. Just let things die off normally. If you do that's weird. It's weird if you're just we're not friends anymore.
Is this aggressive? Whenever someone who I knew from high school, if I can recognize their name, sends me a friend request on anything or messages me or anything, I'll block them.
That's aggressive.
I don't care. I don't want to talk to you. It's not even I hate you as a person. It might be. Maybe I do hate you as a person. There's a few select individuals that I do hate. But I just don't want to know you. I don't care about you at all. And I will never have any interest in talking to you.
God. I mean...
What do you mean, God? I just knew them in high school. Why do I have to talk to them?
I mean, you don't have to talk to them, but I don't know. I like to do a basic courtesy thing.
They're usually oh, so you're famous now. Do you want to, that shit. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, I guess you have that added layer. I would definitely be skeptical of people reaching out to me in that
You
case,
will too. Trust me.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, that insinuates that we will get somehow famous.
This is pretty successful based on normal podcasts.
Yeah, I guess so far. We'll see.
With what little we've had.
True. This is from Devin. You like work, right? How do you stand people? I'm currently working as a cashier and I'm weirdly good at making people like me and stand any small mistake I make, but I hate them. All of them, except maybe the babies that aren't crying. And occasionally old ladies that are just the stereotypical old ladies. Anyway, have any advice to keep me from snapping and beating someone with their own potatoes? Also, why do old men feel it's acceptable to call people boss in a sarcastic tone? I feel like you can relate to that a lot, Patrick. I know you hate
in terms of
shit.
endearment? Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. How do we even deal with people at the pool? I feel like we...
Deal with what about them?
Just deal with them in general. Their annoyingness, their rudeness, having to interact with people.
I've become a different person when I'm at work. I'm totally dedicated to their time and effort and everything. I'm just sir, absolutely. Yeah, I totally understand what you're talking about. This is I understand that it's an unreasonable rule. It's just something simply that we put together because, it makes everybody's time a lot easier. Something like that. That's a completely different person that I become when I'm at work. Just deal with them because you're paid to be there.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of just have to have that attitude where you're just I'm just doing this for a paycheck and this is part of the job. And you just kind of got to roll with it. And I would just try to minimize your interactions with people as much as possible. That's what I always did at the pool. I would never speak to patrons, or if patrons needed help, I would always just try to redirect them to someone else because I didn't want to deal with it. Especially when people wanted to do fucking swim tests, little kids with their parents would come up and be like, he wants to take the swim test. And I'm like, I'm about to go eat.
I will give you a swim test because I don't want to have to yank you out of the water because
that other person. Dude, I have to save so many fucking kids from the swim test. There's so many kids that are just bad at swimming who think they're better than they are, and they're just fucking
parents
awful.
That don't care and don't come up to ask, I hate. So yeah, absolutely come up and ask me if your kid is able to swim and not drown. Because I will find out, and then I don't have to deal with him dead.
This one is from Shafika. I hope I'm saying that right. Hey guys, y'all have an awesome podcast, and I hope to hear the day your ratings hit the 666 mark. I hope so too. Anyways, when I was a kid, I always had this dream about hula hoops diminishing, then enlarging in size. When it became big enough, it would engulf me. For some reason, this only happened to me whenever I was sick, and when I woke up, I would be left feeling confused and terrified. I actually went to Reddit and found out there were some netizens. I don't know what that means. A user of the internet. Oh, that's a weird word. Oh, net citizen, I guess. Okay. Who had experienced this as well. So, do you guys have a memory or any experience that you guys have encountered recently or in any childhood that sticks with you to this day that you can't explain?
Can't explain.
Yeah, do you have a memory or an experience
She said that was
from
a
your
dream?
entire life that you can't explain? Yeah. Like either a dream or something just totally weird that happened to you that you think maybe wasn't real.
Yes.
Like you maybe thought you saw a UFO or some shit.
I had a lot of weird experiences with thinking I saw someone when they weren't there.
Anyone in particular?
Yes, I get specific. Yeah, this is something that happened to me, and no further explanation is required. I used to live in a house that was not 2 stories tall, but there was like a hill, and then as you walked down the hill to the back of the house, there was another floor. So the basement was sort of exposed, like the walls of the basement, and then there was the top floor. So it sort of seemed like there was 2 stories when you were in the back of the house looking out the window, because you were sort of far up from the ground because the hill went down. And I woke up one night and I opened my eyes and I looked to the window because there were these big pine trees that would rock back and forth, and I used to have this fantasy that they would fall over because I wanted something interesting to happen. I was that deprived of fun, and I don't know why I thought it would be interesting, because it's just like sometimes it's what you want to see, a tornado, but obviously it would be terrible because it would destroy everything, but you still want to see a tornado, you know?
Yeah.
And
100%.
I was like my ritual if I couldn't go to sleep. And that night I opened my eyes and I saw someone in the window staring at me. I swear I completely saw this person standing there, and it wasn't I couldn't see any of the details in their face because the moon was the only source of light, and it was just a silhouette of a person, but I could see that they were doing this, like hands up to their face trying to discern what was in the room. And I stared at them, I pissed myself, and I sweated bullets for about an hour just staring, and I didn't move. I was completely frozen. And this, coupled with my fact that I was the most terrified child in the entire universe and had nightmares every single night, it did not help my anxiety. And I eventually just fell asleep. I guess I just fainted or something. I know it wasn't a dream because I was very aware what was going on, and when I woke up I had pee in my pants. But yeah, I don't remember anything about it other than that. Yeah. But that was pretty inexplainable. Crazy. I've had more grown up versions of scary things happening that I couldn't explain, but that
what's a grown up version? Because I feel like a kid one could easily be written off. But what's a grown up version for you?
I was driving on the highway going from my college. I was getting my stuff from college to come back home because I was leaving college, and it was night and it was snowy on the road, and it wasn't unexplainable, but it was fucking terrifying. I was driving, my dad was asleep, and there was this car without their headlights on behind me that I noticed, and I flashed my headlights on and off, and then the car came up right to the back of me, and I started slapping my dad, just trying to wake him up because I was like, how do I deal with this? And then the car started honking like a lot, and I couldn't see anybody in the car. It was just black, and I don't know if that means blackout mirrors or it was just dark. And I stopped flicking lights because they were obviously not going to turn theirs on, and I sped up, and they followed me directly behind my car, and then swerved out from behind me, came up right alongside me, looked at me, and it was just some old man with a beard, and he looked like he was like my dad's age, like early 60s, and he just got out in front of me and then drove really, really fast and disappeared on the horizon. And that was it. It was terrifying.
Oh,
it was absolutely fucking terrifying.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like a fucking ghost car, and like the car pulled up to me. And
that would be less scary, to be honest, because when you can see and you know what's the thing is that's like the malevolent thing, then yeah. But yeah, that was fucking terrifying. I've had tons of experiences with drivers that are just crazy.
I had this one time, and this was probably just like a dream as a kid, where I was like lying in bed. Similar to you, I woke up in the middle of the night, and the only source of light in my room was like a nightlight out in the hallway. And the shadows in my room made it so it seemed like there was a woman, like kind of like a scary woman, but she was holding 3 dogs on a leash, but they were all standing like absolutely still. And I just like stared at it for a while, and I was like petrified and couldn't move.
Yeah.
And that was that.
It was a lot of that as a kid, just not being able to move out of fear because you think you see something in the shadows.
Yeah. So I have no idea. That was definitely probably a dream, because I don't know how an old lady with 3 dogs would stand still like that. But yeah, that shit scared the fuck out of me. And that's one of the things that like still stays with me, actually.
One of the things that made that experience with the person in the window so terrifying was that if they were in fact a person, a thing looking through the window, they were standing basically looking into a 2-story window. So they were either this like, I'm imagining like a slender man, like freakishly tall, weird lengthy armed creature that's looking inside. Like, just that made it much worse, and also that I could see the fog on the glass that they were breathing.
Oh,
yeah, that's an important detail that made it seem less like a dream for me, because it's like, there's no way I'm that creative. I didn't come up with it.
I've had like, not, these aren't like supernatural experiences, but I've had like scary experiences that I feel like I'm about to die, but then I was like totally fine. Like this one time, I was at, or something bad was gonna happen to me. This one time, I was at the movie theater and I was watching Doctor Strange with Kalina, and there was this guy a few seats down from me who kept making weird noise and kept like shuffling in his seat, and something was like off about him. Like I was getting weird vibes from him, and he like reached into his backpack and was like in there, like, and he was constantly like looking into his backpack with his hand in it, and I was like, what the fuck? And later when he reached into his backpack again, for some reason I really thought he was gonna pull out a gun.
And that was when, was it the premiere for Doctor Strange?
Yeah, it was the premiere.
That's around the time that there was that movie theater shooting.
No, that was The Dark Knight. That was like
not
years before.
That there was a different one, and I know what you're talking about.
Was there another one?
Yes.
I don't remember.
That's creepy.
Yeah, so like that scared the shit out of me, but it wasn't. It was just a weird guy, and he pulled out a bag.
It's amazing
of snacks.
that the thought can entered your head because of the environment that we live in.
100%.
It's a possibility wherever you go.
Like I didn't think I was one of those people that could be so affected by something like that, but I definitely
Did
was.
it ruin the movie for you?
For a little bit, yeah. For the first half hour, I was like preoccupied with the fact that I might get shot or something. Like I was pretty scared. Like I didn't know what to do. So yeah, that really fucked me up. All right, do you want me to read this last email, which is the most recent one we got?
Sure.
All right, this is from...
Is it the one?
It is the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This one is from Missy Keels 52, even though that is not their real name, apparently. Hey, it's me again. Sorry to Patrick that my name is not actually Missy Keels. I'm not that cool. The other night, I took an Uber and was listening to XM radio when an ad came over the speakers that I got unnecessarily angry at. Not a sermon, just a thought. I probably wouldn't have thought anything of the ad and probably would have zoned it out, but dang it, I had a secondhand annoyance from hearing about it from you guys. I mean, I looked to the driver in the car and gave this huge rant about it and everything. I soapboxed something that I initially didn't even know existed. Those 60 seconds turned me into a passionate advocate of rage and hellbent on tearing this guy a new asshole. It didn't stop there. Oh no, I pulled out every single instance of when someone has pulled the "I'm not saying you should believe in our good Lord and Savior, but look what he's done for you" type bull speeches and shredded every chance of hope I would of getting a good passenger review. I gave the dude a very large tip and gave him full stars, apologized, and went inside the house and judged myself for 3 hours straight. Have you guys ever had that happen to you? No, I cannot say that I have had.
I can't say I would ever do that to anybody.
No.
I completely agree. I mean, it is an annoying segment, but I would never harass an Uber driver.
I've never. The ideal Uber ride for me is an Uber ride where I don't talk to them. Yeah. Although I did have this really cool Uber that I was actually got into a really good conversation with my driver. It's when I was leaving school this year, and it was driving me to the airport, and we got into this conversation about like photography, and he talked to me about how he, is like an amateur photographer, and he likes to take photos on like film of his like wife and like of nature and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. And he was telling me all about how he takes photography classes and how he's trying to learn to do like photo editing on the computer. And so I was giving him some advice because I know a lot about that stuff. And we were like stuck in traffic for like 45 minutes. That was a really nice time, and I feel like I really got to know that guy. That was like the best Uber ride I've ever had. I don't know. It was like a weird like human connection thing. It was just so innocent, like this guy that just loved taking photos of his wife and of things in nature. So that was the best experience I've ever had. Never harassed anyone. I have a pretty good Uber score, and I'm pretty proud of it. Anyways.
Apparently, it was like 2 years ago when I was just starting to use Uber because I needed to go to places, but I didn't have a license yet. This lady told me halfway through a ride, I was looking at my phone, and she said, "Hey, man." And I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" And then she said, "You have 2 stars on this app, right?" And I was like, "No, I didn't know that." And then she showed me, and I had 2.2 stars. And it was
holy
like,
shit.
What? I literally have never said anything to an Uber driver at all. Like, in my history of doing this thing. It's so annoying to find out that someone was like, he didn't talk to me. I'm a bitch.
God. I know some people that'll get mad about that. The more talkative Uber drivers.
Yeah.
Hate that shit.
That's a stupid system also. You should never be able to do that. Unless the person is the like employee that you're rating. I understand, but you shouldn't be able to rate people like the Black Mirror episode.
All right, moving over to iTunes reviews. We are finally at 81 ratings. We have a new review from Ellie Bites, The Trinamic Trio. Very long episodes, good for long train rides, funny conversations with all sides being the devil's advocate in a way. I'm now starting to sound like an old Russian. Good job. Very nice. Okay, I go now. Yaman on, pat Alex's head. I don't know what that is, but I like that last phrase.
That was really
good. Thank you, Ellie, for that. Let me go to the YouTube real quick because we always neglect the YouTube comments, and there's always people commenting on those for some reason. Yeah.
They should stop doing that. Who do you think they are?
Who the fuck do you think you are? You think we're actually going to read your shit?
I drew a man who plays basketball, but I made him look like one of the Monstars from Pump Up the Jam or whatever the fucking movie is.
All right, we got Trust No Thought. I like the person that's just so dedicated to fucking that shit.
People have pointed out that I'm growing facial hair, and I started noticing too. I'm not sure I hate it.
I wish, I don't know. I say I wish I didn't grow facial hair because it's annoying having to shave and stuff. But I guess I like having the option, at least. There's nothing. Okay, one person asked, "Why aren't y'all putting this on Spotify?" They have a section for them, and then people can listen to your podcast and do something else at the same time. Since YouTube doesn't do that,
We do put it on Spotify.
We do not put it on Spotify because Spotify has not accepted us because Spotify is super selective about what podcasts they let on their platform, which is super annoying.
Shut up.
If you want to like listen to the podcast while doing something else on your phone, you can listen to us on SoundCloud because it functions the same way. So definitely recommend doing that. Snicket Fan 03. This is from Blues Boys 87. Anthony Bourdain was amazing. He showed us just how human the rest of the world can be. Next week, are you guys going to talk about E3? Would love to hear your thoughts on Anthem, Fallout, Destiny, Doom, and anything else, but especially
you can run
Anthem.
down the list of like games that were announced that we're excited for. Like, really quick.
I specifically asked Patrick that question, like, we're going to talk about E3, right? He's like, people don't give a shit about
Let me think about what games I'm excited for. Anthem looks promising, but it could be another Destiny loot box shitty situation.
That's exactly what I think, yeah.
Division 2 looks very samey to the first one, and I do not like the system where you take 67 bullets to kill one guy in a hoodie.
I'm excited to try the Division 2. That's my...
If there's a beta, maybe you try that or something.
I'll try the beta, yeah. Cyberpunk 2077 looks great.
Yeah, looks really good.
Live
CD
for that.
Projekt Red, another great fucking studio. They made The Witcher 3.
Exactly.
I'm really excited for a gameplay trailer because that trailer was really cool, but I really need to see gameplay.
I am excited for
Ori and the Blind
Smash.
Forest. Oh yeah, Smash Ultimate, yeah.
Smash Ultimate, that's cool. I'm excited for What a Ghost of Tsushima
Oh
looks
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. It's very interesting. It's like sort of like Dark Souls-y, like grappling hook thing. It was just very interesting.
Oh no, that's
The other
you're talking
samurai
about
game.
there was like 3 samurai games this E3.
It was Shadow.
The grappling hook one is Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima is like the slower one where you're like dueling and shit. That kind of looks like For Honor. And Neo 2 is the other one. That's also just kind of like a Dark Souls-y samurai game.
Well, yeah, there was the Neo one that was like similar to Dark Souls, but in a more Southeast Asian sort of vibe.
Yeah,
There is like Western Knights.
Last of Us 2, which I'm incredibly lit for. I love The Last of Us. It's like my favorite video game of all time. Beyond Good and Evil 2 looks interesting. Never played the first one.
Oh
so
yeah,
we'll see
yeah. If it's cool as if it's not one of those like World of Warcraft situations where the trailers are beautiful and the game looks ugly as shit, then I'm really down.
Death Stranding looks weird as shit, but I'm
not
excited.
Interested at all.
I am very interested just because I love Hideo
Did you see
Kojima.
the full trailer?
I did, yeah.
Did you see the little machine he has on his back that's like an epilepsy weapon?
Yeah, and it's powered by a baby.
Yeah, that he.
I love that shit.
I don't remember. Is it inside his body or is it in a little tube thing?
It's on a little tube.
It's so weird.
It's fucking cool, dude. I don't even care.
I mean, it's cool imagery, of course, great art and stuff, but goddamn, does that not look fun?
I'm into it, dude. I don't know.
Looks like
they haven't even showed actual gameplay, so I don't know if it'll be fun yet or not.
Yeah,
so we'll see what happens.
That was kind of
that was all CG trailers. I mean, it was like in engine, so it'll probably be what the game looks like, but it wasn't like active gameplay with like controller prompts.
Like real gameplay?
Yeah, it wasn't real gameplay. Metro Exodus looks pretty cool. I like Last Light in 2033. Mario Kart. No, that didn't get announced. But there's a new rumor that a new Mario Kart might get announced.
This is the perfect environment for Nintendo games right now, man.
Yeah, honestly.
Smash on the Switch. All this. Like,
I downloaded Fortnite on the Switch yesterday.
I think like the Switch saved Nintendo.
It kind of did. The Wii U was garbage, but the Switch is doing pretty well.
Like
they got to keep the magic going because the Switch can't run pretty much any game that comes out today.
Oh, Donkey opened up a store to buy shirts, and I am like that's one of the few creators in the history of them. I've listened and watched Rooster Teeth content for years, but I've never thought about buying a shirt for them. But I would definitely buy a sweater with Donkey's shit on it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. I need to see his new E3 video about it.
Oh yeah, it was
awesome.
really fucking funny.
Yeah,
he said he's like, "You guys better watch this video, or I'm gonna have to eat your shoes."
And I'm especially excited for the new Spider-Man game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Great. I might get a PS4 just for the few select exclusives that they have, like God of War and Spider-Man.
Absolutely.
Last of Us
so those
2
are video
set
game
the fucking
takes,
internet
unless
on fire by being lesbian for some reason. That's terrible to think about.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Odyssey also looks pretty
Another
good.
reason people got mad is that you can play as a woman. How dare you?
Yeah, if you are mad about either of those games, you're a dumb idiot. So
I'm really glad they gave her muscles, because usually if a woman's in a game, she has to be this weird, stupid, like conformed to the idea of what women have to look like, instead of, you know, what a person who has lived their entire life fighting in like gladiator arenas would look like.
Yeah,
great.
Did you see Battlefield 5 gameplay?
I'm so non-interested in that for some reason. There's like I've said this a couple times, but like I'm waiting for the thing to like hook me in, but there hasn't been a thing.
What was the thing for you in Battlefield 1?
It's just so fucking pretty, and I love all the guns and the environment. It's very Indiana Jones. Like,
fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that about does it.
I didn't even really enjoy the gameplay for Battlefield 1 that much. It was just a spectacle.
Yeah, it kind of was. Bad Company 2 is still my favorite, and like maybe Battlefield 3. I don't know. But thanks again for listening, guys. Make sure you go leave us an iTunes review. Make sure you go send us an email to Prude
if you want to.
You have to, or else you're fired.
Don't say subscribe.
You can subscribe if you want. You don't have to.
There you go.
But if you don't, you're fired. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at PrudeDudes. If you want to follow us on our personal accounts, I'm at AlexPena97. Patrick is at PatrickCharlton5. Yaman is at _Yaman. Thank you again for listening, guys, and we'll see you again next week.